What if I told you that one of the most powerful warships in history, a ship once called the Pride of the Royal Navy, was destroyed in just 3 minutes? Yes, 3 minutes. Enough time to pour a cup of tea. Let's go back to the end of World War I. Britain was still the ruler of the seas. The Royal Navy had ships across every ocean, and it wanted to stay ahead of new rising powers like Japan and the United States. In 1920, the Royal Navy introduced its newest and largest ship, HMS Hood. It was 860 feet long, weighed more than 42,000 tons, and could sail faster than 30 knots. That's around 55 kilometers per hour. At the time, it was the biggest and fastest warship in the world. People called it the Mighty Hood. It wasn't just a ship, it was a statement, a symbol of British naval dominance. But behind that symbol of pride were hidden flaws. You see, Hood was designed as a battlecruiser, a class of ships that focused more on speed and guns, but less on armor. And during construction, Britain tried to fix this by adding extra armor. The result? The ship became heavier, and its balance was affected. It sat lower in the water, waves often washed over its decks. Sailors even joked that Hood was the Navy's biggest submarine. More importantly, its deck armor was weak. It was designed to protect against horizontal attacks from other ships, not from shells dropping steeply from long distances. By the late 1930s, naval warfare had changed dramatically. Long-range shells and air attacks became the norm. Hood needed modernization, but the outbreak of World War II delayed all upgrades. So while Hood looked powerful on the outside, on the inside, it was already outdated. Fast forward to May 24, 1941. The British Navy received alarming news. Germany's most advanced battleship, the Bismarck, had left port and was heading into the Atlantic. The mission was simple: find and sink Bismarck before it could target Allied supply ships. HMS Hood, along with the new battleship HMS Prince of Wales, was sent to intercept it near the Denmark Strait between Greenland and Iceland. At 5:52 a.m., radar spotted the enemy. The two British ships opened fire, but the Germans responded with deadly accuracy. A few minutes into the battle, one shell from the German cruiser Prinz Eugen hit Hood's deck, igniting ammunition stored dangerously close to the surface. But the fatal blow came moments later. At around 6 o'clock a.m., Bismarck fired a 15-inch shell that pierced Hood's thin deck armor, straight into its rear ammunition magazines. A massive explosion followed. Witnesses said the entire center of the ship erupted like a volcano. Within 3 minutes, HMS Hood split in two and sank beneath the waves. Out of a crew of 1,418 men, only 3 survived. Yes, 3 survivors. It was one of the worst naval disasters in British history. The loss of the Hood was, well, a national shock. For 2 decades, it had represented British power and pride. And then, just like that, it was gone. The Royal Navy, humiliated and enraged, launched one of the largest manhunts in naval history. Just 3 days later, the Bismarck itself was hunted down and destroyed. But by then, the lesson was already written in history: prestige cannot replace protection. The Hood was outdated, vulnerable, and overconfidently sent to face a newer, better armoured opponent. The Royal Navy had underestimated how much warfare had evolved and overestimated its own legend. Now you might be thinking, this happened more than 80 years ago. Why does it matter today? Because, you see, the same mistakes are still being made. Many modern navies, including global superpowers, continue to prioritize symbolism over strategy. They build massive carriers and ships to showcase dominance, but often delay upgrades, overlook vulnerabilities, or ignore evolving technologies. The HMS Hood's message is clear: no ship is invincible. Pride can sink faster than steel. Modernization is not optional. Even powerful vessels become obsolete without timely upgrades. Design compromises have consequences. Balancing speed, armor, and firepower is critical. Preparedness beats prestige. It's better to be quietly strong than loudly vulnerable. If we look around today, at aircraft carriers, destroyers, and even advanced submarines, we see the same balance being tested. Nations continue to push the limits of design, sometimes ignoring the simplest truth. Technology alone doesn't guarantee survival. Today, the wreck of HMS Hood lies nearly 3 kilometers beneath the North Atlantic Ocean. Its remains were discovered decades later, a haunting reminder of what happens when pride overshadows practicality. For the families of those 1,415 sailors, it's not just history. It's a legacy of sacrifice and a warning for the future. Every time a navy builds a new supership, one that's advertised as unsinkable, unstoppable, or unmatched, the Ghost of HMS Hood whispers a warning. Don't make the same mistake we did. So the next time you hear about a country unveiling its most advanced warship, remember, power means nothing without protection, and prestige means nothing without preparedness. The story of HMS Hood isn't just a tragedy, it's a timeless reminder that even the strongest can fall if they stop adapting. What do you think? Are today's navies truly learning from history, or are we repeating the same mistakes again? If you found this story insightful, make sure to like the video, share it, and subscribe for more military and geopolitical explainers. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay informed, stay curious.